Hey, hi everyone.
Hi Dana. Hi Michelle.
Hi Dana. Hi Jen.
Hi Michelle. It's so lovely to have you here on Conscious and Connected. Sorry we were a few minutes late starting to go live. We had a few echoing issues, which I'm hoping aren't returning right now. So without further delay, we want to jump right in. We have the lovely Michelle with us today, and we want to hear all about you. So, Jen, I'm going to turn it over to you to ask the first question.
Yes, Michelle Gallant. I know you're meeting Dana virtually for the first time, but she has already heard a ton about you. There's many in this audience because I rave about you near and far. I'm so excited to have you here, and we're just going to ask you a few questions, and we're so excited about sharing a gift of yours because you have so many to share. But we are going to start with the first question, which is just telling us about you in under 4 minutes, just as easy as that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I guess the quickest is to say back in my early 30s, I felt that there was something missing. Looking from the outside in, it was a great life, but I wasn't happy. And so that began my journey. And I went from being in sales and marketing to studying massage therapy. After 2 years, got through that program, and I just felt like I was on the tip of the iceberg, and that there was much more to healing. And as I was doing this work, I was starting to grow and expand my awareness as well. The next thing that came in was yoga, and that was to help my body so that I could do the work. And I discovered that it was so much more. And again, I guess I'm a student without a doubt. And I just continue to want to find out more. And so the yoga came in, and I thought it was a physical thing. Well, next thing you know, you start peeling away layers, and you start to touch into emotions, and then your higher self. And yoga was the tool to increase conscious awareness of myself and my environment and those people that were in my life. So I became a yoga teacher, and my primary focus, I was really blessed. I went to and my teacher was Yoganand Michael Carroll. He was one of the original Kripalu teachers. And his big thing was pranayama. And pranayama are different breathing techniques. So that's when I really started to dive in deeper into my own essence, if you will. And as I did that, everything in my external world started to change slowly, relationships, friends, all that. And I started to become happier. Yet I was still wanting more. And so I continued with the study, and that led me into Ayurveda, which is the Indian science of health and well-being. And they really look at the big picture, body, mind, and spirit, all connected. And so there it is. So I'm definitely a sojourner on the path for truth, for what is real. Mm-hmm. And in our times that we're experiencing today, a lot of folks are stripped away of their external worlds and now are faced with what's going on inside. What is this all about? The bigger questions are really starting to come in now. And I've been experiencing that for a long time. So it's, I don't know, that's my journey. And I continue on, and I find that what has really been my foundation is the breath. And that all goes into the yogic teachings of the pranayama.
All right.
How's that?
Good. Yeah, you've downloaded so much information, Michelle. And as I've said, I feel very privileged to have been able to get. I'm also curious. I've been able to virtual classes, which have been amazing. But I'm curious what you've been doing personally into that to help you through this time.
Okay. What have I been doing to help me through this time? Yeah. So when this first started, I was stripped away of my work. I could not do therapy. I couldn't people one-on-one, and teaching at various locations. And so now that was shut down as well. And for the first days, I was lost. It was, it was different in a way that you could be have a few days off and it would be kind of like that vacation. But after a few days, it's like, okay, the vacation's done and I really need to do something. My sense of purpose was gone. And I think a lot of folks are experiencing that. I was fortunate. I had my daughter here and she enabled me to online and teach yoga virtually, which was fantastic. I believe not only for myself, but also for other folks that I had taught before, at least that someone familiar that was teaching and knew their style. And it created a safe place, if you will, for them to go, at least for an hour and a half, and experiencing something that they were familiar with, that they knew allowed them to feel better in the moment and when they were done for a period of time. So for me, on a daily basis, routine is so important. I try to get up at the same time every day, doesn't matter what it is, the weekend or and do my routine that I had established beforehand. So Ayurveda speaks a lot about morning ritual, morning routine. And so I get up and I do the swish with the sesame oil and then scrape the tongue and come out and have my hot tea and the supplements. And then I go and sit and meditate. And I do that and meditate for anywhere from 20 minutes to, time flies sometimes, 50 minutes. And that feels really great. And it's grounding. Then, the shower and the rest of the routine, something to eat, and then teach. And then after that, it's really been practice like reading. I like spiritual reading, do some of that. Food, trying to stay on point with my diet. Eating at the same time, lunches are usually my larger meal. Having that, and then the afternoon I do a yoga nidra in the afternoon to just relax. It can be anywhere from 20 minutes, almost an hour that I do that. And then, walk the dog, that's in my routine, come back, have dinner, and then it's just, maybe puzzles or whatever. But the biggest thing is routine. And I understand that a lot of people are having issues with that. Especially since their children are home, they may not be working. So life is crazy. And in order to have a routine, you must engage your will. And you have to understand the reason why you're doing it. So yeah, we could stay in bed. I just got off the phone with a client. He's a mess. He's been staying up later and later, and he's getting up later and later. He doesn't feel good. His energy is low and he's starting to gain weight. So the will, we need to engage our will and have some discipline. A lot of folks don't like that. It's like they hear the word, oh my God, discipline, and they go running, but we need that to keep ourselves balanced. Because we can think up, you all know, we have a million different reasons why we can't do something. And they were all probably really good reasons at the time. But that just is not going to lead us to health and well-being. So implement a routine. Get back to what you were doing before this all happened. Get up at the same time. So what if you don't have anything to do? I'll tell you what you could do. You could sit down and do nothing. Breathe. Stay present. follow your breath in and out, say some prayers, do some spiritual reading. It's that easy. And it's so simple that is all that we have to do. And yet we don't do it because we're still in that loop where we feel like we have to do something or else we're not worthy. We have to be productive or else we're not worthy. And we are worthy. And the way we become even more worthy in a time like this is to do less, to come inside, to make that connection with our higher self that's there watching all the time, and ask yourself, what's next? What would be the best thing for me to do? And just sit in quiet. Something will come in. And if it doesn't come in then, it will come in some point during your day because you asked for it. And my belief is that when you ask something, you will get an answer, but we have to be aware. It might not come in the way we thought. Maybe it's a song. Maybe it's the meeting of a friend, or seeing a bird, or opening up a book and you reading the page. And, the answers come in various ways. So we need to be open to that. But basically, that's how I've been doing it. Routine is foundation. And then along with that, gauging the will. We have a lot of free time on our hands, and we don't want to start snacking and, going down that path. And sure, have a little bit, catch yourself, engage your will, roll up the bag, put it away, and, get back to doing something else. So that's what I say.
Michelle, I want to thank you so much for bringing up the will. I think it's so important because we've been having this ongoing conversation in this series about this holding both right now, the need for some structure and routine, and yet it's this opportunity for our structure and routine to be totally reborn if we have awareness and choose to. And so there has to be sort of this shedding or destruction before something new can be reborn. And it sounds like what is really bringing you a sense of grounding right now is continuing those practices you've been learning over many years, and continuing what is most foundational in those even now, even though it looks very different than your former teaching schedule. So thank you for mentioning the importance of the will, because sometimes we think of will and ego as bad or wrong, and no, it's both and.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. I think the biggest thing is what you said. We're in this position right now of recreating. We have the time to do that, and to examine those things in our life that worked prior to this. And those are the things that you may want to keep. I'm sure that there are some things in your life that were not that positive for you, and you may want to shift those. And the will has always gotten a bad rap. To engage our will, we have to know what it is we want. Okay. And so right now we're in this chaos, and out of the chaos comes creation.
Exactly.
And so, right. So grounding down, spending some time inside, quiet time, asking yourself, what is it that I want? And then let yourself dream, dare to dream, give yourself permission, get lost in it, spend how much ever time you want, and then observe your body as you're doing that. What feels good when you let these thoughts randomly float by? And maybe you've had your heart set on something for a long time, or maybe not. But this is the time. So figure out, listen to your internal response. It comes from your heart. It comes from your gut. It's not going to come from your head. And once your head, your heart, and your gut are online, then the information really starts to come in and download. So it's a feeling thing. When you have a thought that feels good, hey, that could be it, right? So know what it is you want. And then it's important also to understand, why do you want it? And this is not to make anybody feel badly about wanting something, I want it just because, it's fun or whatever. Yeah, okay, good. Let that be. But hopefully, some of the things as we recreate our lives right now that come in, it's something that you want. Well, why do I want it? I think that this whole paradigm shift that we're going through right now is about bringing ourselves up to a higher place of awareness and consciousness, and also bringing others up with us. So why do I want it? Well, it feels good to me, but it also, allows me to help others.
Exactly.
That's a fantastic reason to want something,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah. Which I think is the perfect segue because, I think of how, Michelle, you wanted to be able to share many gifts and practices and help people during this time use those tools. And one of the most powerful tools that you share, usually in the beginning of every one of your yoga practices or yoga sessions or classes, is the breath work. And so I'm very excited that you're going to share something today that the audience will be able to use and apply.
Okay, great. So I just want to clarify, people can see me. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I would offer that folks that are watching this, that they sit down in a comfortable chair. I'm just going to guide you through it's a very, very basic breathing technique. In the West, it's called diaphragmatic breathing. In yoga, we call it Dirga Pranayama. And it's a breath that will increase our overall health and well-being, because we're engaging our abdominal area and our ribs, and we're starting to stretch and open our body from the inside out. It's also going to be something that you can use to calm the mind down and ground, come into your body. And so let's do this. So I ask that whoever is watching, that you be seated comfortably in a chair, that your feet are on the floor and your back is being supported. So a couch may not be the best thing. A nice kitchen chair would be great. And just if it's comfortable for you, allow your eyes to close. If that's not comfortable, you can just have a soft gaze down at the floor. And take a deep breath in. Doesn't matter how you do that. Just take a deep breath in and exhale with a sigh and let go. Let go of holding the body. And invite your attention to move to your feet and feel how your feet are supported by the floor. Just acknowledge the floor beneath your feet and let your feet, your calves be heavy, relaxed. Let go of any holding in the feet. And then move your awareness up to your thighs and go ahead and really relax the muscles around your thighs. Let your weight be completely supported by the chair beneath you. And then you rest your back against the back of the chair. Maybe press down through the sitting bones a bit so that you can lengthen your spine. With the spine long, as opposed to slouching back, you'll be able to access a deeper breath. So for many folks, it's challenging to sit upright in a chair. So you can take a pillow or a cushion and slide it back behind you to help prop your heart up and give you the access that you want for your belly. And then as you're seated, I invite you to take the palms of your hands and place them palms down on your lower belly, somewhere between your belly button and your pubic bone. And if possible, for you to breathe in and out through your nose. If your nose is blocked, you can breathe through your mouth, but it's really much better for you to breathe through your nose, in and out through the nose. So as you inhale with your hands on your abdomen, go ahead and push your belly out into your palms. And as you exhale, just let the breath go and squeeze the ribs, draw the navel in. And for the next few breaths, inhale, push your belly into your palms of your hands, and exhale, let it go. This is not a full breath. This is just enough for you to get used to breathing into your abdomen. Some of us are challenged by that. We're reverse breathers and we normally draw the belly in. So we're learning something different here, if that's you. We're inhaling and pushing the belly out. Yes, we are over efforting, but that's okay. Sometimes we need to over effort to learn something new. So inhale the belly, exhale, draw the navel in. And then now start to lengthen your breath. Continue to breathe through your nose. As you inhale, you're going to press into the palms of your hands, extending your belly out, and then keep drawing breath in and focus on the ribs. And see if you can get your rib cage to flare out and lift up. And then you exhale and you let the breath go. You squeeze the ribs, you draw the navel in. If you'd like, you can take your hands and place them right on the sides of the ribs. That might be a better cue for you to breathe into. It gives you a target to breathe into. So low belly and ribs. Exhaling, letting the breath go. Accessing your breathing muscles. Squeeze the ribs, draw the navel in. And then the final piece of this is to get your breath all the way up to your collarbones. So if you'd like, you can take the palms of your hands and place them up on the upper chest, if you'd like, right underneath your collarbones. And inhale into the low belly, the ribs, and all the way up so your shoulders rise. And then the exhale, you just let all the breath leave your body, squeeze the ribs, draw the navel in, come to empty. So now you're using all three quadrants, really, of your torso, the low belly, the mid belly and ribs, and then all the way up to your collarbones. So the breath is moving in and out. See if you can start to slow the rate of breath down. So just start to inhale a little bit slower. Exhale a little bit slower. And then change your perspective so you can shift your focus to the back body. And as you breathe, use sensation. So the breath as you inhale will create sensation, and just observe where that sensation is in your back. Exhaling, observing sensation as you squeeze empty. It may almost feel like a wave washing up the back body with your attention. And then you can shift your focus again. You can bring it to your side body. And as you inhale, notice sensation on the sides. As the ribs lift up on the inhale and the exhale, they might settle down a little bit towards your hips. So once you get this, you can add on if you want. You can add a hold. You can inhale, hold the breath in. And then exhale slowly, let the breath go. At the bottom of the exhale, you start again. Inhale, fill, fill, fill. Nice big full breath. At the top of the inhale, you hold the breath in. Let go of any effort around the hold. So you relax the shoulders down. You still hold. You can observe sensation, desire, need, wanting to breathe, and then slowly exhale the breath out, coming all the way to empty. You can do that again. Inhale, fill, hold the breath in. And if this is comfortable for you, you can control how long you hold or not. Exhale the breath out And if you're comfortable, you can hold the breath out for a couple of seconds as well. Okay. And what this does, it starts to slow the rate of thought down within the mind, because the breath and your thought process or your mind are linked. The longer, the fuller, the slower the breath, the quieter the rate of thought will be going through the mind. If you start to breathe shallowly and quickly, chances are your mind is really moving fast. It's got a lot going through it.
Mm.
So, right?
Beautiful.
Real easy. And folks, you know, you don't have to, you can sit in the bathroom on your toilet seat if you want. If you need a break from the kids, you just tell them, I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be out in 2 minutes, right? You just do this.
Yes.
You sit, you breathe, you'll feel so much better.
That is
It's so true.
Even
So
now.
simple, yet so powerful. And it's always there.
Mm-hmm.
We always have our breath, no matter where we are.
Right.
Always.
We always have it. And the final thing that we need to do is engage our will. Now that you know it's that simple, just take a time out and give that to yourself. It really is truly a gift. And whoever created us didn't want to make things that difficult. So we have this tool with us all the time. We just need to use it.
Use it. Absolutely.
Yep.
And thank you so much, Michelle, for everything that you shared. And I do want to share with people that you are offering a sliding scale for your services. So no matter where you are, whether you're in Massachusetts or you're in Florida, where Dana is, people can log on right now. You can get Michelle Gallant right now, wherever you are. And Dana's going to put up the link. So it's Heart of Bliss, and it's a square site. And you're offering classes every day, right? And they're beginner, intermediate. You do this breathing in the beginning of every class. There's restorative, there's yoga nidra that you brought up. And you offer a sliding scale. So everyone has access to this right now, which I think is a beautiful service that I've been taking advantage of, and it has changed me during this time. So thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you.
Thank you,
Dana,
Michelle.
nice to meet you. Thank you so much for having me.
Me too.
Nothing to say.
And thank you for your words of wisdom.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you. Bye, ladies. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.